This story is a work of fiction created for entertainment purposes only. Imagine dedicating your life savings, your hope, to a cause you believed in, only to discover the very person you trusted was stealing it all. What if the most celebrated charity founder was a fraud, and their victims are finally ready to expose the shocking betrayal? A woman stumbles barefoot down a dark highway, drenched, trembling, clutching a torn blanket around her shoulders. Her lips are blue. Her wrists bear bruises shaped like fingers. She keeps glancing behind her as if expecting headlights to appear. Then, barely audible, "She said she'd save me. She said I owed her my life." Moments later, she collapses near a gas station outside Meadowridge, Oregon. When the clerk rushes out, the woman whispers 3 words before losing consciousness. "She's still there." Those words will spark one of the most disturbing investigations the state has ever seen. One that would expose a charity, a lie, and a woman whose kindness hid something far darker than anyone could imagine. Because sometimes the hands that promise to heal are the ones that never let you go. Her name was Grace Holloway, founder of the Hearts of Mercy Foundation. To the people of Meadowridge, she was an angel, elegant, compassionate, calm, the kind of woman who'd appear on morning shows talking about second chances. She spoke at churches, schools, shelters. "I was once broken," she'd say softly, "and someone reached out and lifted me. Now I lift others." Her foundation promised shelter for women escaping abuse, therapy for addicts, and meals for the homeless. She ran it from her large Victorian house on the edge of town, safe haven shelter. But behind those pastel walls was a nightmare no one wanted to believe. The woman found by the roadside was Angela Ruiz, age 27. She'd been missing for nearly 8 months. Doctors said she was malnourished and suffering from severe dehydration. When she woke in the hospital, she refused to speak until Detective Mar Linwood came to see her. Angela hesitated, then whispered, "You can't tell her you found me. She'll come for me." Linwood promised she was safe. That's when Angela began to talk, haltingly at first, then faster, as if afraid her courage would evaporate. "She said I was her miracle. She said God sent me to her, and for a while, I believed it." Angela's words would unravel the legend of Grace Holloway. Grace's story was known by heart in Meadowridge, a survivor of domestic abuse who turned her pain into purpose. But police records revealed something different. No evidence of abuse, no ex-husband matching her claims. The name Grace Holloway didn't exist before 2014. Detective Linwood began to suspect Grace wasn't who she said she was. Meanwhile, Angela described her months inside the safe haven shelter. At first, it was paradise, clean rooms, warm meals, group prayers. Grace would sit by her bed, brush her hair, whisper, "You're safe here, my love. The world can't hurt you anymore." But slowly that kindness turned into control. Grace took their phones, their IDs, their medications. She made them sign commitment contracts in exchange for protection. She said freedom was a temptation, that leaving meant death, and anyone who questioned her disappeared. Angela spoke of 2 women, Lisa Carver and Molly Dean, who left in the night. Grace told everyone they'd relapsed or run away, but Angela remembered hearing something else that night, a scream,
then the sound of a door bolt sliding shut. Detective Linwood cross-referenced missing persons. Both Lisa and Molly had been reported missing within 6 months of staying at Hearts of Mercy. Linwood returned to the shelter, posing as a donor. Grace greeted her at the door, warm smile, floral perfume, hands clasped over her heart. "We believe in redemption here. Every woman deserves a fresh start." Behind her, Linwood glimpsed a figure through a frosted glass window, a woman standing perfectly still, staring at her, eyes wide with something that looked like fear. Armed with Angela's testimony, police obtained a search warrant. The raid took place before sunrise on March 2, 2023. Officers swarmed the property. Grace didn't resist. She simply said, "Be gentle with them, they're fragile." When detectives descended into the basement, they found a locked metal door concealed behind a bookcase. Inside, 3 rooms, no windows, bare mattresses. And in one corner, a notebook.
Pages filled with handwritten confessions. I am selfish. I deserve pain. Grace loves me because I hurt. One of the captives identified herself as Lisa Carver. She'd been missing for 4 years. Her voice was hoarse when she spoke to officers. I thought she was saving us. I thought this was therapy. As news spread, Meadowridge erupted in disbelief. Local supporters gathered outside the police station, holding candles for Grace. How could she? Some asked. Why would she? Others demanded. Detective Linwood found the answer in Grace's financials. The charity was a front. Over $900,000 in donor money had been rerouted to private accounts under the alias Evelyn Stokes. Property records revealed Grace Holloway was Evelyn Mae Stokes, a woman who fled Nevada in 2013 after defrauding another nonprofit. The abuse story? Fabricated. Her husband? Never existed. Her foundation? A carefully constructed prison disguised as charity. In Grace's seized possessions were 21 journals, each labeled with a victim's name. In them, she chronicled her healing process for every woman she saved. Day 12. Angela resists prayer again. Punishment necessary. Fasting and reflection. Day 46. Lisa still cries for her mother. Must remind her the world abandoned her. In one entry, Grace wrote, "They will love me for their pain, because pain is proof that I am their God." Experts later called it narcissistic savior delusion, an extreme form of control rooted in trauma and dominance. The courtroom overflowed with reporters. Grace arrived in a gray suit, calm and composed, her hair perfectly tied. When the prosecutor described her crimes, she smiled faintly, as though listening to gossip. Lisa Carver testified first. Her voice shook when she pointed toward the woman who had once promised her salvation. She told me love was pain. I believed her until the night she locked me in the dark and said, "Now you understand forgiveness." Grace's defense claimed she was mentally unstable, believing her victims needed confinement for healing. But then came Angela's testimony. She described her escape, sneaking through the laundry chute after hearing Grace pray aloud. "Lord, take her if she is not pure enough to stay." The jury took less than 2 hours. Grace Holloway, aka Evelyn Stokes, was found guilty on all counts. When asked if she regretted anything, she simply said, "Regret is for the lost. I found purpose." In the months that followed, the real victims struggled to rebuild. Angela lived in a halfway home, haunted by the sound of locked doors. Lisa began therapy but refused to enter basements. Detective Linwood was promoted, but she never forgot the smell of that basement and the journals filled with twisted prayers. The safe haven shelter was demolished a year later. Where it once stood, volunteers planted a community garden. At the entrance, a plaque read, "In memory of those who were promised mercy, but found chains instead."
2 years after Grace's conviction, a reporter obtained leaked recordings of her prison therapy sessions. Her voice was calm, almost soothing. "You think I'm evil, but I gave them structure, purpose. Without me, they'd still be crawling back to their abusers. They needed me to stay whole." When the therapist asked if she understood what she'd done, Grace replied, "They should thank me. The world only pretends to care. I truly did." Those recordings reignited public outrage, but also fascination. How could someone turn empathy into control so completely? Lisa and Angela co-founded a small survivor network, the Real Hearts of Mercy. No corporate funding, no contracts, just a hotline and a rented office with peeling paint. They dedicated it to women hurt by those who claimed to help. Their first project, publishing a guide for identifying fake charities and cult-like nonprofits. When asked why they chose to keep the name, Lisa said softly, "She took everything from us, even the word mercy. We're taking it back." In Meadowridge, the name Grace Holloway still divides people. Some remember her as the woman who brought the town together until she tore it apart. Others refuse to speak her name at all. But the women she caged refused to be silent. Every year, on the anniversary of the raid, they gather in the garden where the shelter once stood. They light candles for the ones who didn't make it out, for Molly and others never found. And as the night deepens, Angela whispers the words that began it all. "She said she'd save me, but I saved myself." Grace Holloway built her empire on compassion and fed it with control. She taught an entire town how easy it is to worship kindness until it turns cruel. Because sometimes the monster doesn't hide under the bed. Sometimes she opens the door, offers you warmth, and asks only that you trust her.